Hey, it's Alicia and Kodiak with Learn, Live, Love Abroad, and today we are talking about van life and a 9-to-5 job. What does it look like? What's the worst part about it? What's the best part about it? And would we keep doing it? So you might recognize the fact that I'm wearing the exact same outfit and we're at the exact same place as our previous video, which is 1 year in van life. And that's because we recorded 2 videos in one day. So this one it's gonna be interesting because Kodiak has sort of worked 9 to 5. I mean, he has, but he's also his own boss. But I worked for my dad. Still not a 100% 9 to 5, but at least I had to go into the office pretty much every day.
So we made a 9 to 5 video already. Yes, I'll link it. It'll be right here. But it was our most viewed video. It still is, actually. And we feel like that when we made that video, we had been doing 9 to 5 for 3 or 4 months. Not the longest. Now we had been doing 9 to 5 van life for a full year. So with that being said, we're a little bit more experts on the topic and we'd like to share our thoughts because they're different. So come along for the ride.
Is it possible? Yes, it totally is. We've pretty much kept Fort Collins as our home base for the last year. Mostly because the red van can't travel as far. It was super, super expensive to travel anywhere in it because it got 7 miles to the gallon. That's so ridiculous. So we were constantly paying for gas. But van life 9 to 5, I say 100% worth it. If you're gonna be by yourself, make sure that you have a place to park your van that feels safe. Of course, my office has a really nice parking lot and I'm never worried that it's gonna get broken into. Plus, I'm not alone. I have Sage, I have Kodiak, so there's pretty much somebody in our van almost all the time. The other pro to van life 9 to 5, I can literally park a block from my work and get there as early as I want. I don't want to get there at 9 o'clock. I don't actually have to be there at 9 o'clock. I have to be there at 10. But I could get there at 6:30 and then be done way earlier because I got up early, because I felt like I needed to go to the gym beforehand. So there are way more freedoms to living van life and working in 9 to 5.
But aren't you worried about being the same van, parking in the same spots?
No, and here's why. Kodiak and I are extremely careful with how we park. We try never to park in the same spot more than twice in 1 week. We try to mix it up, but we park outside of apartment complexes or outside of our parents' house because my parents live in Fort Collins and Kodiak's live in Wellington, so they're both really close. So we're never trying to draw attention to ourselves. We always finish everything we need to do and then go find a parking spot and then try to never leave that parking spot after we've already parked. And if we do, then we go and do whatever we need to do and then come back. We're never walking out of the van advertising the fact that we're living in our van.
More from the peanut gallery. What will your coworkers think? Will they be able to tell that you're living in your car like a hippie?
They might. I'm gonna be honest, there's a couple people in my office that know I live in van life, but I think I told all of them. Or my dad did, because I work for my dad. So I don't think there's ever been a time where somebody was like, oh, you live in your car? But they may be able to tell due to the fact that A, you might not be showering as often, especially during the first couple of weeks. Your hair might look really gross if you're not showering every day at the gym. Trust me, that gets better. It eventually calms down and you produce less oil, I promise. Anyway, the second part that they might figure out is if you're going out to your van to make your lunch in the middle of your lunch break and you come back with a plate and a gourmet sandwich that you made in your van on your lunch break and it only took you 5 minutes. I think it's gonna be obvious. But you can be as obvious or not obvious as you want to be. If you don't want people to know, you don't have to let them know. One major con, if you do tell your coworkers, they're gonna have questions. So they're probably going to ask you really intimate questions that you wouldn't ask your best friend. Like, where do you poop? And where do you shower? And all sorts of very intimate things that you're like, I don't know you that well. So that is a con. But to be honest, don't really care, because my answer is always the same. We live in a world of bathrooms. Where the hell do you poop? Guess what? Kodiak just told me that I have stuff stuck in my teeth. I got it out. So now it should be less distracting.
So yes, I'm not 9 to 5. I run my own business. However, let me offer something that I've noticed as a, I don't know, take it as a con or a pro. You work more often. You are much more likely to say, oh, I have this project, I need to finish this project. Let me just run out to the van real quick, make myself some dinner, and then go back to work. I don't know how many times Alicia said that, and then we've worked till 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, having eaten dinner at her office, hanging out, and she's working away. So it's gonna be good for building, like climbing that corporate ladder if that's something you want. However, it's not the best, because if you are weak to let work take over your life, it'll happen. It really will.
Setting boundaries, so important. And something I'm pretty sure we didn't learn until this COVID-19 pandemic. Didn't realize how much we were just going to the office and then working until 10 o'clock at night, and then not saying no to people and spending our entire weekend hanging out with people, and then like rushing through Monday in order to get our laundry and stuff done. We don't have the normal facilities of other people. So it's okay to say, no, that's gonna take me 3 times longer because I have to go somewhere to do my laundry. If you have coin operation laundry, you know what I'm talking about.
Will I look homeless in my van?
No. Depends on how you dress. Yeah. Or how often you shower. Or your general hygiene. I have a feeling that if you have poor hygiene to begin with, it's gonna get worse. If you have good hygiene, you're gonna maintain it. So.
And I do want to point out, I don't know if I can link other people's videos yet, but I will link a video of a guy that wears a suit, works in San Diego at like a law firm or something where he has to wear a suit for work, and lives in his van. If you can wear a suit and live in a van, I think it's up to you whether or not you look like a hobo. I've looked like a hobo, and I've lived in a house at the time. It's up to you.